So we have to start from here. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yes, right.
Okay. So we discussed the different storage devices so far, different hardware that normally used at home or in offices and organization. So continue in that respect, input often requires transferring human readable data such as sales order into the computer system. So data input, like we give the input to the computer through keyboard. When we talk about the information system, so we need to give some sort of input, human readable data. Okay, we want to produce human readable data. So human readable means data that people can read and understand. A sheet of paper containing inventory figures is an example of human readable data. Machine readable data, such as barcode, can be understood and read by the computer devices. Getting data into the computer system is a two-stage process. Human readable data is converted into machine readable form through data entry, transferring the machine readable data into the system. So this is data input. So we're talking about the information system in general. And for information system, you need some machines, you need some softwares, you need some programs. And for that, you need an input in some form. So there are two types of data, the human readable and machine readable. Okay, so the output you are getting, you're taking a print, so you can read that one. Okay, so input will be given to the system will process it and show you the output in a form that a human can read. Is that clear, guys?
Yes.
And for machine readable data, such as barcode, you know, on almost on every product there is a barcode now. And how machine can read that one? So can be understood and read by the computer devices. Getting data into computer system is a two-stage process. Human readable data is converted into machine readable from through data entry. Transferring the machine readable data into the system, this is data input. So machine cannot understand the, as we know, the high level language. So machine will convert that into some instructions in other language that is understandable by the machine. You know, there are different types of languages. You guys know Java, C++, C Sharp.
Yes, okay.
Which type of these languages are?
Human readable?
Yes, this is human. We can say the high level language that we can read, that C out, C in, print, many commands that we can understand. Okay, so when you run this any program in any language, that would be converted into in a middle language, middle level language. That is, you know, the assembly language. You know the assembly language? Have you heard this name?
Yeah.
So we work directly with the registers, AX, BX. These are registers. So your data will be stored or converted into in this form, and then this form will be converted into machine language, the binary language, 0 or 1. So human readable data is converted into machine readable form through data entry and transferring the machine readable data into system. So this is the mechanism for data input. I repeat again, when you give any command instruction through keyboard, so system don't understand. System will convert this data into some form that machine can understand, and that is called machine readable data.
Doctor,
Yes.
what is data entry?
What is
Data entry.
data entry? Data entry when you are enter the data in, for example, Excel sheet. You're creating your Excel sheet. You are entering the data
Okay, okay.
and that. Okay. Okay. So moving to the next concept. So we have some more devices, the input devices, and most of them you are familiar with that. The keyboard and mouse. Now we have a different kind of keyboard and mouse available in the market. Speech recognition technology enables a computer equipped with a source of audio input such as a microphone to interpret human speech as an means of providing data or instructions to the computer. So speech recognition technology, are you familiar with that?
Yes.
Have you used these?
Is it like Siri and the iPhone?
Yes, same like that one. Even in your computers, in every computer in Windows, they have this option.
Athena, yes.
So you can speak and their keyboard can be, or the instruction. You can give the instruction without writing, just using your audio. Okay. So there are many devices are available. You can create your own systems. The hardware are available with software programs are available in many type of things. So you can create many systems. Okay. In graduation projects, we have seen many projects where the students are using this technology in their project. And in the market, it is also available with many hardwares. Digital cameras, you are familiar, I don't need to explain this. Many types of camera are available. And now we have a built-in cameras are coming in many hardwares. Scanning devices. So the scanner that we use in offices at home, it's very common. Other than the optical data readers, optical OMR. Have you heard this name, OMR? OCR? Optical mark recognition. Did you give the exams on a special sheet, where you can choose the options A, B, C, D?
Yes.
In some exams, usually the government exam or maybe the university exam, maybe you have given. I think so. The special sheet, and we use this in our college. So this you will just mark your answers or you highlight the circle with a pencil and machine will read that one. We store the answers in the machine and machine will check your answers. Okay, so that is called OMR, optical mark recognition. And also such as that used on multiple choice exam to detect a mark on a page and optical character recognition OCR to read the handwritten or typed character. So OCR is the same technology, but they will read the handwritten or typed characters. Like if you nowadays, if you give the exam for IELTS, in some cases, but in TOEFL, they use the computer for the descriptive questions. You write essay on computer and machine will check that automatically. Okay, is that clear? We have some other devices, magnetic ink character recognition devices used to read magnetic ink found at the bottom of bank checks. So when special kind of inks are used in many documents in government especially, so they can recognize, and in banking sector of course where the financial stuff are very important, so they usually use these kind of technology for improving the quality and the security in purpose. So more devices are coming. The point of sale device, for example, a barcode reader. In HyperPanda Extra, in any store, if you go, so they have a barcode reader on the counter. They read the product. These point of sale devices. The guy sitting on the counter, what he is doing there with the product?
Scanning them.
Yes, scanning them. So scanning on some machine, so that is called point of sale device. Automated teller machine, ATM, all of you are using this special purpose input-output devices that bank customers use to perform withdrawals and other transactions with their bank accounts. Pen input devices. Data can be, the pens with iPad and all the tablets nowadays with mobile phones, the pen is available. Data can be input by touching a screen with pen input devices on tablet PCs, for instance, touch-sensitive screens. Nowadays, in many universities, in the classrooms, in schools, this kind of sensitive screen are placed where you can write with the pen. So these are the input devices. So now the output devices have display monitors. The display monitor is a device similar to a TV screen that displays output from computer. So in the market, if you go to the Extra or Jareer, you can see many different type of computer screens. Very modern computer screens are available for Apple, Samsung, and all other companies. LCD displays a flat display that use liquid crystals to form characters and graphic images on backlit screen like a TV. We have LCD and advanced one is LED now available in the market in every house. You can see this. So in offices, of course, in our college, we have in meeting room, there are different screens are available. Printers and plotters, paper output, the printer. Plotter means that you plot something. Useful form of output. Nowadays there is a you can generate. You want a drawing. You want some special any text in special characters. So there are a lot of plotters are available that can automatically work, kind of a robot that you just give the instructions what is required, so it will plot on a paper. Digital audio player, MP3 player, iPod, computer-based navigation system. We are using this very common GPS systems are becoming more popular and drivers with drivers. So you guys are using GPS. GPS stand for? Are you with me, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
GPS stand for?
Global position. Is it global
Yes.
position?
Yes, global positioning system are becoming more. You are using these things, right?
Yes.
3D printers are specialized output devices. This is another famous kind of things nowadays. You can create your own 3D printer that will give you the output in some specialized form. Paintings are nowadays people are creating paintings on 3D version. They create some models on this. There was I don't know what is the name of that building in Tehran, the big building. Usually the scientific conferences.
Isra.
Yeah, Isra. So I visited there once. So I saw they create very special models related with the oil industry in 3D form and very beautiful. model. I don't know if you guys have visited that one or not at that time. So ebook readers, yes, nowadays technology is available that the reader can read the electronic books. You have the books are available in e-form. Even for our course book, if you can log in through Cengage, the publisher, they will provide you the e-book, electronic copy. Okay, now types of computer systems. So there are many types. Handheld computer, also known as pocket PCs, PDAs. These are extremely mobile, multifunction devices. Before the PDAs was very famous. Once I remember that everybody is, try to use these kind of things. So computer is in a small size in your hand, and you can perform so many tasks there. Smartphone, when a handheld computer, can also be used to make phone calls. It is smartphone. Note there is no agreed definition on how smart a phone has to be before it is classed as a smartphone. So there is no specific definition for the smart phone. So, and you are familiar with this. I hope there is no guy who don't know what is smartphone nowadays. I think every guy has this. And without smartphone, your life is nothing, I would say.
Secluded.
It is a mandatory thing now. Especially in Saudi Arabia, now you have many, services, government services, or the private services. They are all you can access through smartphone. Portable computers, laptops, and tablet PCs. You are familiar with these. It's very modern and new, very good models from Apple, HP. So you guys prefer to buy Apple laptop or not?
Sorry again.
Apple laptop. So what's your opinion about that? Is it worth buying? You prefer to
No.
buy a laptop?
I prefer
Laptop,
PCs.
Okay, so what is the reason?
It's more adaptable.
More
I can change it for whatever I want to use it for. While an Apple Mac is set in stone what it is.
Integration with the other system is easy in that. You mean?
Yeah.
Yes. So Abdullah Al-Shamri is saying iMac is good. What is the reason? Can you tell why you like iMac, why you prefer? Okay. Anyhow, but the trend is people usually prefer other PCs rather than iMac. But when it comes to the smartphone, so people prefer iPhone, right? Do you agree with this?
yeah. I think so.
Because of the operation system, ولا?
So smartphone, people prefer iPhone, and for the laptops, people prefer other than Apple, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, so we will conduct the
Depends how
discussion.
it's used.
Sorry?
It depends how some people are using their devices. For example, if you're programming and you're using Mac, that's not good. As an example.
Yeah, but we have to see this, overall.
Okay.
If you see the overall scenario, so most people buy for the other laptops. Maybe there are different reasons. Maybe one of the reasons that the student told that the integration is easy with that. You can play easily. You can connect to many things with that. And maybe the price is also one of the factors. People don't go there. But for smartphone, maybe the people have craze in the market. Maybe their functionality, the quality, or the reliability, the failure rate is good as compared to others. So there can be many reasons. So we will conduct the discussion on this someday. It's a debatable topic. So portable computers, laptops, and tablet PCs, thin client, low cost. These have limited capabilities and perform only essential applications, so they remain thin in terms of client applications they include. So thin client is kind of a computer, but it is a different kind of thing. It's a specialized. Normally, the organization use this thin client for communication, for networking within the offices. So many organizations are using. Microsoft has some good thin clients kind of thing. So it is used for to perform special tasks, the essential applications only. And what is client? The word is client. You know what is client? Anybody knows? Client?
Meaning?
What is client? The client server, you don't know? You heard this name? Server usually, provide the services, and client can make the request. Okay? So we have desktop PCs, like most of you maybe. You guys have desktop at your home nowadays? Or just laptop? Any student with desktop? Is there any student who's working on desktop?
Yes, tips for me.
Okay, but it's getting rare and rare. But in offices, it is still working. Workstation more powerful than desktop PC, but essentially look the same.
Doctor, what
Yes.
slide are you on?
I'm on slide number 27, types of computer system 2.
Yeah, it's okay now.
Okay, there are different type of, everybody knows. Workstation, it is looks like same like desktop PC, but it is more powerful, and it is used for specialized specialized purpose, like in networks you can use, or as a server. Sometimes it is used. Server used by many users to perform specific tasks. As I just talked with you, there is a server and there is a client. So server used by many users to perform a specific task. Typically, these have large memory and storage capacities, along with fast and efficient communications abilities. So there is a server, there is a client. For example, you are opening a browser and you just write www.iau.com. So you are requesting this to the server. So your website will, if you open any website, so website will come from server, right? All your data is on the server. So when you are requesting from home, from office, so you are working as a client. You are requesting data, and server will process your request. And server is a large computer with large memory and storage capabilities that store the data, and they have also communication abilities. They reply you, they process your request. Is that clear, guys?
Clear, clear.
Okay. So mainframe, more powerful. Large, powerful computer shared by dozens or even hundreds of concurrent users connected to the machine over a network. Usually the large, organizations, big organizations are using these when they have a complex structure of work. They have a complex problems, so they use these kind of computers. It is more powerful than servers. So, and the last one is the supercomputers, the most powerful computers with the fastest processing speed and highest performance. These are special purpose machines designed for applications that require extensive and rapid computational capability. Like the NASA company, they usually send the rockets to the galaxies. So they need a very fast calculation processing speeds. These computers are very fast. So why fast? Because their processing architecture is very different and very fast. The machine cycle, in one machine cycle, they can perform maybe 100,000 of instructions. Did you get this point?
Yes.